The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.
Freedom Friday with Carl Gallups, 1330 WEBY.
You know, there were Democrats who were threatened to get out of the party, all that kind of stuff. Bill Gwatney was killed.
Who was he?
Chairman of the Arkansas Democratic Party and a Hillary superdelegate.
And what relationship did he have with Bill and Hillary?
From what I heard, Bill's best friend.
And what happened to him?
He was sitting in his office, and someone came in and shot him, killed him, ran out, and then the perp got killed, and there was no motive. The person was killed, there was never a motive, and I was told that was, shut up, Bill, or you're next.
Shut up about what?
Obama's birth certificate.
Wow. Folks, you're back. Freedom Friday. Welcome back. We're broadcasting live today. Bettina Viviano is my special guest this afternoon. She's a Hollywood TV and movie producer, literary manager, and was tied in directly or indirectly with the Hillary Clinton campaign for presidency, but has a lot of inside information as to Hillary and Bill's knowledge of Obama's ineligibility, particularly around his birth certificate. And so what you just heard was a clip of an interview she did with Dr. Jerome Corsi, New York Times #1 best-selling author and the author of the book Where's the Birth Certificate? So, Bettina, you were having that discussion with Dr. Corsi, and you guys were talking about Bill Gwatney. I want you to retell that story. That was one of Bill's best friends, Bill Clinton's best friends, who was murdered in cold blood, and then the word was that it was a warning to Bill Clinton about the birth certificate for them to shut up, and then Chelsea's life was threatened. Tell us all of that. We've only got about 3 or 4 minutes, so I'm going to hush and let you tell it.
Well, really quickly, one of the delegates, the Hillary people, told me this, that she heard it from Hillary, that we kept hearing constantly Bill was going to tell the truth. You have to remember how angry the Clintons were because they knew that they were being ripped off by Obama, and Obama called Bill Clinton a racist. They hated each other. So Bill was going to tell the truth, and emotionally I was so involved in it because I just spent all this money making a documentary to help Hillary and vindicate her and get her back the nomination. And so I felt so violated. Why won't they tell the truth? Anyway, what I was told was that this guy was sitting in his office, and then they knew Bill Clinton had a big mouth and he was a loose cannon, and he was pissed. And they threatened him and said, you better not do it. Hillary will never be the candidate, blah, blah, blah. He said, I'm going to do it anyway. And then they threatened him, and he said, well, I don't care. I'm going to do it anyway. And then they threatened her, the daughter. And they said, okay, well, if you don't care about yourself, what about you? And just to prove they meant business, you know, they walk in and take the superdelegate that's Bill's best friend, and they shoot him in the chest 3 times, and the guy runs out. No reason whatsoever. No motive ever discovered, and the cops shoot him and he's gone. So
the murderer, the perp, he's killed. And of course he can't talk, and quite conveniently they say, well, gosh, we can't figure out a motive.
Yeah, I mean, it was ridiculous, but you know, not surprising considering at that time I knew about Donald Young, the Passport Office, Stephanie Tubbs. You know, there's a huge list of these people. You know, you have to wonder about Andrew Breitbart. You have to wonder about Michael Hastings. You have to wonder why all these things keep happening. And people think it's tinfoil hat conspiracy stuff only because America is such a young, naive country. We've never been invaded. We've never, you know, people don't understand that in communist countries and countries that have had coups and things like that, which we basically had, they kill people at the drop of a hat to get in the way of their agenda.
Yeah.
They have no compunctions against murdering people. These are scary people. I mean, I don't know if people realize the full extent of it's not even really Obama, it's who controls him. You know, the agenda really is, and that's what I was saying before the break about George Soros. You know, the agenda is to take America down and to kill the dollar and to make us weak and defenseless, you know. And if you look, that's what's happening. I mean, 6 straight years of 8% unemployment, and then opening the borders and letting anybody, any third world person crawl over the border and get welfare and food stamps and free health care. What does that do?
Right. The homosexualizing of our military, the homosexualizing of our culture, the destruction of marriage, home, family. I mean, it just goes on and on and on.
Yeah, and it's all part of one big agenda that, you know, people need to put in perspective. When when people trash birthers and say, they're crackpots, really, what part of the Constitution have you not read?
Right.
You know, I mean, at least the people that pursue this issue are trying to save this country from this agenda and don't really need to be trashed by people on the other side saying, oh, well, we can't go down that road. It makes us look crazy. Who's crazy? A country that's got this guy in the White House. That's who's crazy.
Right. You said it perfectly, Bettina. Bettina, we've run out of time. If you don't mind, though, I'm going to be back in touch with you. We've got to have you on for more. There's just so much more we need to talk about. Bettina Viviano, God bless you, and thank you for bringing this forward, and thank you for being on Freedom Friday today.
Thank you, Carl.
God bless you, Bettina. We'll have you back.
The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.